For those of you who've been following the stream, or rather my streams specifically, you would know that I have recently played the Xbox Game Pass, and I think I've had a bit of a conflicting sort of opinion on it. Well, seemingly conflicting. I really, really like the service itself, but I really, really, really hate basically all the games on it. This should be of no surprise to anyone because I have always been very, very critical of the quality of content that's coming out on non-Nintendo consoles, right? Like, I have always said that Nintendo consoles are superior because they offer better and more replayable games. And having played Xbox Game Pass, having been exposed to shit like Monster Hunter World, Doom Eternal, Nier Automata, and fucking think indie games like Wander Song, like Spiritfarer, things like that, it really makes me think like, wow, I'm really, really glad that I didn't waste my money on any of this shit because basically all of it is pretty terrible. Where I'm keep in mind, I'm not playing some like shitty low budget thing. Like I am playing like some of the biggest and best third party games that have come out this console generation, right? Like they put stuff like Ace Combat 7 on there. Nier Automata has a following, like things like that. And the only games that I really, really like on there are Tekken 7 and Resident Evil 7. That's basically it. I'm not sure how I feel about games like Yakuza Kiwami and Ace Combat 7 yet. At this point, like I'm kind of feeling like it could go either way, but like the vast majority of games that I've played on Xbox Game Pass are awful. Like really, really awful. Like you shouldn't even bother awful. Like Doom Eternal, like don't play that shit. Like Nier Automata Nier Automata is gonna get its own video, but I am I think I'm going to stay a subscriber to Xbox Game Pass because it does, at a very reasonable price, something that I really desperately needed. As a gaming critic, I need, like, something that can easily get me to give me the capacity to play everything that comes out at a reasonable price. So I don't have to, like, sort of just dick around, like, buying all these indie games, like, you know, having to pay for shit like Undertale. Like I can just sign on to Game Pass, wait for it to come out there, and then play it when it comes out, and then make a review when it comes out. Be the Xbox Game Pass review guy and do in-depth reviews on why shit like Wander Song should not exist. I am just, man. Oh yeah, Spiritfarer, by the way, that was the one game in that Nintendo Indie Direct that I actually said looked kind of interesting. Yeah, now that I've played it, fuck no, don't play that shit. I am just, oh damn. So yeah, I would say Game Pass is not a very good deal in general for general audiences. Like, I think general audiences would be better just, you know, getting a Switch and then playing all the big stuff on that, like playing the games on that because they are better. But for someone like me who wants to play literally everything that comes out at some point or another, so you can have some opinion on it, so you can judge it, so you can sort of like talk about certain aspects of things that people don't necessarily want to talk about, like how shit Witcher 3 is, like things like that. Game Pass is a really good bet. Like I think it's gonna be very, very helpful in keeping me involved with the wider gaming community, like the one outside of the superior Nintendo platform, rather than people like coming on Twitter and telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, that I don't actually have a high-end gaming PC, that I don't actually play other video games other than Nintendo consoles. Like, it's not true anymore. It's clearly not true anymore because I have Xbox Game Pass. I have everything that's going to come up on there. Like, Red Dead Redemption 2 was on there a while ago. I kind of wish I had played it so I can talk shit about that more. So I can talk more specifically about that. So people like Razor Fist can stop pretending it's good. Like, come the fuck on. This is going to be huge, I think, in order to help me stay on top of games on these platforms. To get a completely thorough idea of just what the current state of modern gaming actually is. Like, and with the Xbox Game Pass, like I can tell you, like basically all the games on there are either terrible or should be on Switch or are on Switch already in a lot of cases. Witcher 3. I think out of all the games on Xbox Game Pass, Witcher 3 has sold the most, and it is on Switch. Minecraft is a big seller, is on Switch. Basically, all the indie games are on Switch. Tekken 7, Nier Automata really should be on Switch. Ace Combat 7 too. Doom Eternal is coming. Not that I'm gonna buy it because it's garbage. Like Game Pass, I think what's gonna happen is that like we're past the point I think where people are going to be buying consoles based on their games. I think a lot of I think Game Pass is the evolution past console gaming. So we're going to see like Xbox releasing these games for a wide range of platforms. Hopefully, eventually Nintendo platforms. So hopefully Xbox Game Pass will eventually make its way to Nintendo consoles, and then you can just download all these games onto your Nintendo console through the subscription service, like things like that. I don't know. That remains to be seen exactly how that's going to work, but um, I think the long and short of it is that like Xbox Game Pass is a good idea, and it seems like it's well executed, but the software isn't there yet. It needs more games on there, and it's never going to have the games because there aren't enough good developers outside of Nintendo to sort of to support this service. And I think Xbox is going to be like sort of beating its head its head against the wall, trying to make this thing profitable. I think the main thing, though, the main takeaway here is that Xbox Game Pass by itself, kind of makes the PlayStation brand irrelevant because you have all of this stuff on this one console that you can play whenever you want for like a monthly fee, and you get like all these deals. Like, I don't see PlayStation 5 competing with that. I really don't. Like, much like Cyberpunk 2077, like all I've been hearing from PlayStation 5 has been bad news after bad news after bad news. Like, it's just over and over and over again. With the Xbox, it feels like they have a pretty good idea of where they want to go going forward, and I think eventually they're going to be successful. I think they and Nintendo will have a very good relationship going forward, while PlayStation is hopefully driven out of the industry. I cannot wait for that to happen.